I got it.
Now, which do you want to feed in a temperature situation? The bottom, because that's the hottest off the blower? I mean, does it matter? Shane says it does.
It's the hottest off the blower. You want the hottest off the blower, where all the heat's going to be exchanged, right?
Should have brought a heat gun.
I don't think that's push lock approved.
I mean, how much pressure is going to be in that? Right, you want to go here, right? Because this is off the blower?
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter.
I'm just going to say yeah.
It's going to be so cold. I did not bring, I don't think I have a wrench with me. So I'm going to have to do this and then push it. You know what I mean? This is great. This is really something. Now, how far do I need to go? Look, guys, I got red hose. People are going to be like, wow, who makes that? Lowe's.
It matches.
Let's cut it here. Or should I cut it extra long? Because I'll use it for the length of the car anyway. Might as well, right?
It's planning ahead.
I mean, I have 100 feet of it. 100 feet. Let's just do this. These are like, someone sent me these. I never had one of these before. These are great. At least I can get like a rib. This is nice. Maybe I should just attach it to the roof. I'll pull up on it and hopefully that's tight enough, right?
You didn't bring a hose box?
Dude. I was struggling to get everything done. Alright,
You sure it's gonna hold if we get... When you're not... Do you have reinforced brick?
Yeah. Well, the ZL1 is reinforced. And then that one has... That's why people have to mod the CTSV one. I hear it. See it weighing down. See it? See it getting heavy? Oh. I only cracked... Ooh, there's some water. Well, I guess I'll shut the water off and...
I don't know, man. I seen that Davies pump a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah, let me crack it open. I can hear it. I can hear it flying out.
Sounds like 55 gallon per minute.
Here, if anybody is wondering, Never Kink Contractor Edition. We'll ask Shane what to do.
Phone in the professionals.
Oh boy.
does it make with the boost in it?
560.
Such intensity.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over the after show, shall we? This is pretty interesting. I have this up. Let me just go to the screenshots. It's easier. I have my tune files and my dyno pulls and some pictures. I know a lot of you are probably gonna laugh. I thought this would be hilarious and a good idea and a good test. There's the car on the dyno. And you can see this is Lowe's brand 3/4 inch garden hose, because I could not sleep thinking about what numbers I would make and didn't have the patience to do the tank and everything if my results weren't going to be good. And I was like, you know what if I just get garden hose and hook it up to the sink and let it drain into the floor? That would work. And it did work pretty good. So you can see here, it's literally just 3/4 inch garden hose. And I think there's some neat key factors I'm going to try to go over real quick. The first one is I got the cheapest belt I could find. I bought a few to get one that would fit correctly. Initially, this car had a much longer belt on it, and it was just enough to drive it the other day, but it was slipping at 4,000 RPM already. And I had my tensioner maxed out, and it was just enough to not come skipping off. So an important note is this is just like a $13 advanced auto belt. It's not a heavy duty one. It's going to stretch quite a bit. It did stretch already. I drove this car around a lot, and first hit on the dyno was okay. Second hit, it did slip already. I think I shows in my logs. So I immediately yanked this tensioner and reset, and all subsequent pulls had 0 belt slip all the way to 7,000 RPM. So that is a testament to, if you have the right tensioner drive setup and appropriate amount of belt wrap, this 6 rib does work, at least for this power level and RPM. I know a lot of people told me it wouldn't work at all, and it actually does work. I was skeptical. I wanted to see how it would do, and at 7,000, I have 0 slip. And I do think that this belt won't last a very long time. It's just a cheapest belt, and it's not meant to be driving this kind of load. So I'd like to get a heavy duty belt that won't stretch as easily and put it on here. But at least I know exactly what size. The other important thing I'd like to note is this is a totally stock blower. It's not ported in any way. The snout is not ported. This is just a bolt-on China throttle that Snake Eater sent me to test. And this is a stock lid, stock brick, everything stock except for this has like a bolt-on heat exchanger inlet outlet 12AN thing to clean that up. So neat to let you know that. What I have here is, yeah, here's the car with the little cut in the hood. So I got to get my lines and everything on now. This is the car as I showed you the other day with the cold plugs on motor. It makes 322 horsepower and 287 foot-pounds. And then this is the blower today. So it's substantial, the amount of power it makes. Obviously, look at this down low. I didn't even floor it till about 2600 here when I got the pedal all the way down. It's at over 450 foot-pounds to the tire once you stab it. So that's incredible. I think I want to actually pull a little bit of timing, so if I have to stab it off idle, you know, I don't want to squirt a rod out of it. I don't want to give it that much torque at that low of an RPM, so I think I want to ignition limit it so it's not that extreme, because it already, the first 3 gears are useless. I'll get good video. I think I'll drive around and just let the blower temps come down and stab it once or twice and try to make a compilation for you. But yeah, it gets hot fast without the water running in it like on the dyno. That was easy solution. So I mean, first gear is totally stupid. I haven't even stabbed it in first yet. Second, it will annihilate the tire as if you're driving in snow. And third gear, if you don't roll into it very gently, it will blitz third gear also. So that's just a quick one for you. You can see here it's starting to bounce again. The car, I think it's the subframe bushings I haven't done yet that are allowing this little bit of slack. But one thing I wanted to show people is a comparison for my dyno. The red is a stock C6 Z06 with the 7-liter dry sump LS7 in red. This is a totally stock C6 Z06 LS7. And this is what my G35 48 whatever LSA puts out right now. It makes the LS7 look like a piece of shit. It's incredible. And then people are like, oh, well, heads cam, C6 Z06, but okay, I've done a few of those. Majority of them make mid-5s. So here's a 540 horsepower heads cam intake tuned everything LS7, and the red is the G48 again. It has very similar, the curve is incredible how similar they are, and it makes a little bit better everywhere. So it's kind of mind-blowing that it's like a little iron 4.8 that costs nothing with a fairly inexpensive blower setup on it. So I'm really happy with this. This is out of control. This is a heads cam, long tubes, exhaust, intake, throttle body, everything Z06 here. And this is my piece of junk iron 4.8. Anyway, the other thing I will show is, this is when I was just cruising it around. This is the first dyno hit. And this car pings at like in the 4th. I think I have to desensitize my knock sensors. It does this on, I think I show you in the nitrous videos. It does this on motor, it does it on spray, it does it on the blower now. And I just get like medium knocking, which I think is just the exhaust resonance or something. No matter what I do, it does. So don't pay attention to that. Anyway, I roll into it here. And this was the initial hit, and air fuel was all over the place, and some other stuff was sketch. And it did make... do I have my other... Yeah, here, I have everything here. Here's the first hit with the blower. This is when it spun, actually. I'm sorry. It spun real bad. Yeah, my gear ratio got all screwed up because it spun so bad. You can see like danced all over the place. And then hit number 2 was a little bit more solid. It made decent power, but we're like, why did it go down? And if you look at data log number 2, belt slip. You can see here, this is where it did in fact slip, and you can see it just shows it's pinging like again. But I have the thing as not that aggressive. Anyway, yep, 191, and then you can see here it crests about 5,000. It starts nosing and falling off, and it falls to, let's bring up the KPA, PSI, calc. So, it fell to about 172. Fell to about 10.5 pounds. And here I was wide open about 191. So it went from 13 to 10 pounds. So that's where I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of miles. I made a bunch of dyno hits. Now I can tighten this belt. Hopefully it has stretched all it's going to stretch for now. and I tightened up the belt, and we hit it again, and it picked up great up top, and it had a little bit too much fuel down here, and then this is where I noticed it had too much fuel here, and it didn't have enough up top. And I was like, I'm wondering if my fuel pump's running out. So the next thing I did was below, like, let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, let's take a look at this guy, and then we'll do RPM chart for you guys. I was like, yeah, about 5,000-ish. I have too much fuel because I added everything in boost. I highlighted like 175 kPa and up. And down here I had too much fuel, and up here I didn't have enough. So I'm like, I must be running out of fuel pressure. So on the next hit, I took out 10% here, and I added 10% above 5,000. And it picked up big time, taking the fuel out. And then up top, again, it still doesn't have enough. About here, about 5,000, 5,500, it's 11.8 all the way. And then what it does is about here it goes 12.0, 12.40, 12.70, 13s. And then, sorry, it goes about 13.30 at 7,000. So it's riding on the fuel pump. It's out of fuel pump. So I'm deciding what I want to do. The fuel pump setup for these is kind of a pain in the ass. It's complicated. So I think I have never tried it, and this is a car where I'm climbing out of my comfort zone. Might just try a booster pump. So might just throw that guy on there. I think it's only like an AEM 320 in tank. I have to ask Steven at LOJ. I don't even remember. It's like a 340 LPH Aeromotive or something. It's nothing big. So it blows my mind because these pulls are on 83%, 81 or 83% alcohol. Yeah, I said like, I always write this stuff. I'm like 15 PSI slightly lean up top might be out of pump. And I'm like definitely out of pump because I added 10% between the pulls and it had the exact same air fuel. And you can see like it just likes to talk down low. And here we have 198 kPa at 7,000. There is no slippage. And I was still rolling into the throttle. Like I said, I feel bad about stuffing it. So 83.9 TPS is wide open with the electronic. And it's at 181 kPa at 2,600. So that is 181 is 11.75 PSI at 2,500. So I bet if you punch this at 900 RPM, it makes 10 pounds. And then what did we make? 198? I think it's 14.2. Yeah, 14.2 PSI. And then you can see this was, do I have ethanol in the log? I thought I had ethanol content. Yeah, it says 78 here, but for a couple times it splashed itself over 83, 81, 78. That's the highest I've ever seen it. One thing I could do is knock the content, like dump a bunch of 93 in the car and get it down to 50%, and then I can tune it and I can see exactly like what I should have in here for a fuel value. And you know, part of me wants to do the booster pump and then maybe eventually send the blower lid out. Like if we get 10 feet of snow, I might unbolt the blower and send it out and get the blower ported and see if we can clear 600. I don't know what people pick up. You guys want to let me know? I don't know. People pick up like 40, 50, 60, 75 horsepower. It'll be neat to see. So the other neat thing here is I punch it at like 50 and then the speedometer stops at 158. Damn. What does it go on the dyno? What is it, why did I close that? Why do I close everything on you guys? What are you hiding? Yeah, this is about the same, 158. The speedometer is slightly off at really high speed. So 158 miles an hour in 5th gear, which is 1-to-1 on these cars. So that's where we're at. It only picked up like 63 to 108. So it added about 45 degrees of temperature with just hose water, not even iced or anything. So that'll be neat to see what the tank and everything else does. I'm super happy. Like I think I said earlier in this video, it completely transformed the car. It's an animal now. Like you stuff it and you can, what I wanted was something that would just bake tire. And what's cool is you can just you can half throttle the thing in 2nd gear and bake them off. Like just up, tire like all over the limiter, shift 3rd. If you hit 3rd while it's spinning 2nd, it never stops, obviously. And maybe one day I'll attempt a 3.4 while it's still lit and try to keep it on the road. But until then, this is where you can see also, these are like 1300 cc injectors and I'm using 94%. You can tell it's out of pump a while ago. So I can't wait to see how this stuff changes, you know, as I get appropriate fuel pump or do a booster pump or something else in there. So that'll be it for now. I don't think I have anything else to cover. Let me know if you have questions. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Blah, 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 blah. Have a nice day. Bye.